Hi everybody, this is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave with your daily update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP, and it's pretty much of a nothing day. They've all just got really small range candlesticks. Yesterday, Bitcoin completed a bullish reversal pattern in a hammer candlestick, happening around support at 38,500. It looks like a low might have been found, but let's have a look and see what context this is occurring in. The target from the flag is still 34,530. That's still in play. It hasn't been met, but I've been saying all week that I think, well, for the last few days, that I think that target might be too low. There's pretty strong support about 38,500, so the target might not be able to be met. If you found my channel, then you know that Elliott Wave analysis can be a really powerful analytical tool when it's done right. But I hope you also know by now that there is a lot of junk out there online calling itself Elliott Wave. And when it comes to online courses, most of them are just PowerPoint presentations. Oh, how boring. I have used my 16 years experience, my chartered market technician designation, and my experience as a New Zealand teacher, put that all together, and I have created a truly unique online course to learn Elliott Wave. Learn Pure Elliott Wave has some really unique exercises that I've created for kinesthetic learners. That's people who learn by physically doing, and my students have told me these are really powerful exercises for a really deep understanding of Elliott Wave. So what are you waiting for? My course is only on sale for another 24 hours. Click on the link below and start learning today. Volume's declining as price falls. There's this little range for on-balance volume. There's no breakout yet, but if we get a breakout above resistance or below support before price makes a decent move, then that could be an indication of the next direction for price, one of my favourite ways to use on-balance volume. So I will keep watching this very carefully over the next few days for Bitcoin, because it is starting to develop some reasonable technical significance, particularly the lower support line. It's got 4 tests. There is a downward trend at this time frame, and it's a long way to go before it reaches extreme. RSI is still neutral, still not oversold, and money flow still neutral, still not oversold. The Elliott Wave count for Ethereum remains the same, but I'm a bit concerned that the lower edge of the base channel is now breached, meeting my technical definition of a breach. The 24th of January, so far, if it remains not touching that trend line, is a full red daily candlestick below and not touching the base channel, so that reduces the probability of the wave count that sees this as a second wave correction at minuet degree. If we see a new low below 2153.46 and a stronger, clearer break, because this is an inside day, not a full downward session, if we get a really clear break with a downward session, making a new low below that point for the 23rd, then I think I might label my Newt Wave 2 an incomplete expanded flat, A, B, C, and C to move below the end of A, so that would be expecting a low below 2210.57, the low of the 3rd of January, and as soon as we see that, the pullback could be over. So I wouldn't be expecting too much more downward movement, but some. For the short term for Ethereum, the technicals show us we still should be expecting support about 2,100. That was resistance back here in the small ascending triangle, a breakout, back test of support at previous resistance, and held a breakout, back test of support, and then moving back into this consolidation zone. So now look out for support still about 2,100 is most likely. The last completed session, volume is pushing price lower, but it's not as strong as previous upward sessions, so the volume profile I'm still reading as bullish and still expecting that this is a counter trend movement. ADX is increasing for Ethereum as well now, telling us there's a downward trend in an early stage. RSI is neutral, it's not oversold yet. Money flow is neutral, a long way from oversold. If RSI reaches oversold and price is at support, then I may expect this pullback could end about then and there. For XRP, I am expecting more downward movement. This is now my main Elliott Wave count. I'm expecting intermediate wave 2 to be completing a zigzag labeled A, B, C, subdividing 5, 3, 5. I'm not too confident on this labeling of this ending diagonal though, because the trend lines, I check them really carefully, they're not actually diverging, and that is a rule, so it doesn't meet that rule. So I'm open to relabeling my intermediate wave 2 some other kind of correction. It could be WX why this here could be seen as a 3-wave zigzag, but it does have a better fit as a 5. So What I think I might do is just leave some labeling off minor wave C and just simply expect it to make a new low below the end of A at 0.4456 to avoid a truncation, and once we get there the structure might be a little bit clearer. For the short term for XRP, there's another bullish reversal pattern and a hammer candlestick for the 23rd of January. We've seen a couple of those before though, and it didn't yield any upward movement. Well, after this one we got sideways movement, and after this one we got 2 sessions of upward movement. And this is a really good illustration of one of the things I keep saying about candlestick patterns. They don't tell you one of 2 things that pretty much everyone I think assumes they do. They don't tell you the direction of the next trend, because there's 3 directions, up, down or sideways. So in a downward movement, a bullish reversal pattern doesn't tell you you're going to get upward or sideways movement. You have to consider both. And the second thing they don't tell you is how long the following movement is going to last. So put that together, and they can't tell you if you're going to see a full 180-degree correction to a sustained new upward trend or just a short-term sideways movement, which is what followed this candlestick. So this particularly here is a really good illustration of that. This candlestick pattern said we've got a reversal, and we did. We got a reversal from down to sideways. It only lasted a couple of days, and now the downward trend is resuming. So again, we've got a bullish reversal pattern. It's not going to tell us, do we have a low in place here and we're going to get a full upward trend, or are we just going to get maybe a bit of sideways movement before the downward trend resumes? To answer that question, we need to put it in context with everything else. There is still pretty strong support about 0.4875. Here's the second test. Last completed session, a red session, does not have push from volume, so price is overall falling of its own weight. ADX tells us for all of them there's a downward trend in place. None of them have an extreme downward trend yet. RSI is neutral, but for XRP it's getting pretty close to oversold. If RSI reaches oversold, that could be pretty quickly when the downward trend ends. And money flow is also neutral. That's it from me with a quick update for you today. I'm in South Carolina now. I've moved over to a new state just for a few days visiting family, and so far I think it's quite lovely here. So yay, having a look around the United States just a little bit. Quite a lot of fun.